Welcome to Phu Wiang National Park in Northeast Thailand. Now it's a beautiful place, but I haven't come here wildlife spotting. I'm far too late for that. In terms of the last wild tiger, well, I'm probably about 50 years too late. But Phu Wiang National Park is in many ways Thailand's ultimate time machine. We're going to go back much further than that, about 70 million years, because Phu Wiang is famous in Thailand as having once been the home of dinosaurs. Are you ready to roam where giants once strolled? Let's dive in. I quite like that, quite a sort of modernistic, artistic take on a dinosaur skeleton. What's this? Uranium field. Should they be giving us Geiger counters on the way in or something? Perhaps that's why the dinosaurs died. In 1970, the Department of Mineral Resources has found that uranium ore was present in copper veins within the sandstone of Phu Wiang National Park. The Department of Mineral Resources then started research exclusively on uranium ore in 1975 by collecting 569 soil samples, each sample being 50 metres away from one another according to a marked spot. The sampled area covered approximately 2 square kilometres. They have found uranium ore under Phu Wiang between 3 and 20.25 metres in depth, with important ores being coffinite, with a ratio between 0.3 and 10.5 parts per million and 1.850 tonnes of ore. Aside from being a main source of nuclear related power, uranium also plays an important role in measuring geological ages of rocks and fossils. Don't know how I feel about that really. Right, Wang, learn. Slippery route. I'll tell you what, I hate this kind of rock. Lucky it's dry now, but I don't think I'd bother with this if it's been raining. Some of the different types of dinosaurs out there. Site number 3. Alright, oh, these are the actual excavation sites. Yeah, look, you can see the remains of a dinosaur fossilised skeleton there. The biggest sauropod of Phu Wiang. I mean, God, length 20 metres, height 10 to 15. Early Cretaceous, 130 million years ago. Wow. A Brachiosaurus. Well, it's well signposted. And the trail so far is very well laid out. I did come here once before and follow this trail. Yeah, it was 2018, it was about 6 years ago. This area is a spot where the first dinosaur fossil of Thailand was found by Mr. Sutam Yamiyom, a former geologist of the Department of Mineral Resources. He unearthed a 1-foot bone while on a mission of uranium researching back in 1976. I didn't realise that all the discoveries had just sort of come so recently. The fossil was found to be a sauropod-like, and by closer examination it was confirmed that it's the lower end of an herbivorous dinosaur's femur. The dinosaur was estimated to be 15 metres long, what's that, about 50 foot? Quadruped with a long neck and tail. By 1981, Phu Wiang became an excavation site regarding fossil discoveries, where large herbivorous dinosaur fossils were found on top of part of the Pratu T-Mark Creek. Moreover, crocodilian teeth, turtle shells and prehistoric fish scales were also found. Well, so far, very nice easy trail to follow. Like I said earlier, it would probably be very slippery if it had been raining, but as it is, it's fine. Little bits of uphill here and there, but nothing bad at all. It is starting to get a bit hot now. This path has been sloping up for about 200-300 metres, and of course you get the sun bouncing up off the rocks. Well, I'll tell you what, I've forgotten about that stretch. It's literally at least a whole kilometre uphill. I mean, it's not like treacherous uphill, but it is a steady gradient. Right. The cliff. Garnwella Cliff. Wow. Wow, it's nice. Oh, look at that. I mean, looking at the forest like that, it makes me think what wildlife does still exist in there. So, the first part of the trail is uphill, you know, like it's got to be at least a kilometre. Now, it's not like treacherous uphill, but it is like a steady gradient. But when you get up here to the Garnwella Cliff, there is a nice cool breeze, and it is a surprisingly nice view. Now I'm up at a nice and breezy cliff top. I'm going to take advantage, have a little rest, and have some electrolyte. Some quite nice little views beside the trail. Ghost's vagina, the symbol of love. Is that the name of the tree? I don't know. They call it heepy in Thai, that's what the locals call it, because it sort of looks like a certain bit of female genitalia. Now, although the first part of the trail is most definitely uphill, they do have quite a few of these sort of lovely little shady rest spots, so you know, you can just do it one section at a time and just stop off, have a 5-minute break, have a drink or something before carrying on to the next one. Now, there really are some nice little skylines here with the forest dipping off into the valley. Then this must be the first archaeological site, the first dig site. Bones of a sauropod dinosaur named Phu Wiang National Park. Yeah, what else? Sirondhorne, after the name of the place, Phu Wiang, and Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Sirindorn, were first found in 1982. This dinosaur was about 15 metres long and 3 metres high. Besides sauropod, 2 tiny bones of small coelurosaur named Compsognathus were found. You can see it, brilliant. Yeah, some of the bones are huge. Wow, headquarters 1.7 kilometres. I just noticed something that I find is very typical of Thai national parks. I mean, like the headquarters area was quite busy, there were quite a few people around. But as soon as you get more than 100 metres onto a trail, you just don't see anybody, you know. I don't think they like walking. Yeah, do watch out on this trail. I mentioned before that it would probably be pretty slippery in the wet. Well, I nearly slipped over just a moment ago, just on some dry leaves. So, yeah, don't underestimate it. What's this? Looks something off to the left here. Let's see what that is. Ah, Susan. Susan Hoi, that means like Oyster's graveyard. Alright, lots of shell fossil site. The oyster shell fossils here are in the family Trigonoidea. The oyster shell fossils here are in the family Trigonoidea, dating back about 130 million years from the early Cretaceous period. The fossils are bound together in calcium carbonate deposits, which are transformed into a limestone layer scattered with a sandstone layer, largely belonging to the Karat group. It is hypothesized that the former originated in a brackish water environment. Wow, there we go. In the oyster's graveyard. Dear me. Let's have a look. Oh, I must admit, it doesn't look very appealing. She looks very snaky. Let's have a look. Have a nose. See if we can see anything. Yeah, you can sort of see, you can roughly sort of see how it's made of shells. They're not particularly well defined, but yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. The closer you look at it, the more clear it is that they are. All these rocks are just millions and millions of shells that are built up over millions and millions of years. So here it is, folks. You saw it on Coles, Thailand first. The Oyster's graveyard in Phu Wiang National Park. Oh, and just after the Oyster's graveyard is another dig site. And this one doesn't look like it's shrouded in glass. Right. Oh yeah, look at that. See a dinosaur vertebrae there. Dinosaur spine. We've got some information here for any budding geologists. Excavation team has found 6 neck bone fossils of a sauropod dinosaur near the second excavation site located northward from Pratu Timan. On 9th of November 1989, Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirindorn visited the site, followed by Her Majesty Princess Galyana Vadna on the 25th of March 1990. The Department of Mineral Resources received funding to conduct a building to cover the excavation hole. Unfortunately, the fossils were damaged and stolen while the construction was in progress. Therefore, the answer to which species the fossils belong is still a mystery. Right. So those are the only ones that are left, just down. It's a bit of a maze down there. Hopefully it takes us further down the trail. Wow, it's got further away. It was 1.7 kilometres a bit back there. Now it's just over 2 kilometres to the visitor centre. Well, at least this final section looks like it's downhill anyway. Now, I've driven about 19 kilometres away from the Phu Wiang National Park headquarters to another location within the national park because there's something special I want to show you. Right, You come up to this platform and you've got this lovely trail of dinosaur footprints. I must admit, last time I was here they hadn't built all this. You could just sort of like, you had to sort of like scramble down, looked a bit like a riverbed, a stream bed, and you could just sort of find them yourself. It was a bit more natural, but there they are. Trail of dinosaur footprints. Dinosaur footprints are various directions. Ripple marks and burrows are indicating the waterfront environment. There are 7 trackways from 12 trackways in this area belong to small herbivore dinosaur. Heading for south 5 trackways and north 2 trackways. They are a tiny group of dinosaurs. The size of the footprints and the steps of the dinosaurs in Southern Pass were calculated using Alexander's between 53 to 73 centimetres and a walking speed of 1 to 2.2 kilometres an hour. Now, as I said earlier, this section is actually like 19 kilometres away from the main national park headquarters. Now, it's important to keep hold of the entrance ticket because you have to go through another barrier to get to see these dinosaur footprints, and if you've already paid, you just show them the ticket and they won't charge you again. Now, it can be quite hard to find. I don't think it's actually in Google Maps in English, so what I'll do is I'll put a link to the link that's in Thai language. I'll put a link in the video description to make it easier for you to come and see these if you want to, and I do think it's worth the journey. So that was a nice afternoon spent in Phu Wiang National Park. It's my second visit here and I'm glad I came back. There is a bit of walking involved, a bit more than I remember, to be honest. You know, probably about 4 or 5 kilometres in total to see everything, but the place is dinosaur central within Thailand, so if you've got any interest in dinosaurs, this is your place.